on the kiss. George?
Hello, parrot lovers and my sniffers. My name is Marlene McCohen. This is my little Vinny, and this is Picasso, and we want to welcome you to Storytime Sunday. Yes, I am back. Now, another thing I gotta tell you, I don't think I can hide it anymore. I'm going to call you my sniffers. I've been easing my way into it, getting you guys ready, and now I realize if you're really parrot lovers, you're all sniffers, all of you. Anybody who's an actual parrot lover is a closet sniffer. There's no other way to look at it. That's just a fact. So, hello my sniffers. Today, I'm going to tell you another story about my African gray George. I feel like I'm continuously telling George stories, but as you guys know, George passed a few years ago, so I love when I can remember a George story, and for him to be able to live on here in these videos, I think you guys enjoy it, and I really enjoy it so much. So when I remember a George story, I have to tell you, right, Vinny? Vinny's kind of like, I only speak when not spoken to, right, Vinny? Silence. He loves kisses. Here's the George story. It starts with my best friend, Tracy. You guys know Tracy. She's my blonde best friend. You may have seen her in some of my Whatever Wednesday videos, and you're gonna see her in a lot of my videos. So a little bit of backstory about Tracy. I met Tracy on a casting call. I was looking for girls for a show and Tracy auditioned. And I remember Tracy very specifically because on her audition she said, I've only been in Los Angeles for 7 days. And I thought to myself, perfect victim for a new best friend. Because I was in the market for a new best friend. Actually, that's not true. It is true. I was in the market for a new best friend, but I actually didn't remember her until we were filming and she said, I was in LA only 7 days at my audition. And I was like, I remember you. So Tracy and I became really good friends because every time I needed a model, I would call her up and cast her. And she was always willing and happy and really fun on set. Tracy was dating a guy. She was dating him for a year and I didn't really know anything specific about the relationship, but I kind of started thinking, this is odd, these two together. It really didn't make sense. One day, I found out that he got a little bit aggressive with her and I was like, you don't need to be there. You can move out and you can stay with me. Now at this time, I lived in a small 2-bedroom apartment with my sister and George, so there was no like room for her. And Tracy was like, oh cool, thank you. And I swear she decided to move out the next hour. I'm not kidding you. Suddenly we had to go get her stuff when the dude was at work. So we called our big friend, who I call Wreck-It Ralph, over to help us move out all of her stuff. And when I say stuff, do I mean stuff? I mean, I don't know where she thought she was gonna put any of this stuff, but she literally brought it all like it's gonna fit somewhere in the apartment. Like, I'm here, so this is great, life together. Now, I'm kind of a clean freak, so more people in a small place just gives me a lot of anxiety. And Tracy knew that, so she really wanted to help out around the house. So she got to know all of the birds, she started learning how to feed them and put them to bed, and she started helping to clean up, and I thought, this is wonderful. But what was even greater, I have no ability to deal with food. I've always had that problem. It's part of like my obsessive compulsiveness. I start analyzing things too much and I just get like afraid of the kitchen. So Tracy started making this wonderful casserole. I mean, how great is that? Like some carbs and this perfect little vegetable dish. I loved it. But the first day she made it, it was a really full dish. It was about this big, you cut it, you have your square. Now, here's something you need to understand. What he said. Here's how it goes. Yeah, that's how it goes. My dad is Middle Eastern. So when you eat in a Middle Eastern family, although my mom is Irish, born and raised in Ireland, but when you eat in a Middle Eastern family, it's a buffet, there's a ton of food, there's lots of different dishes, the food will keep on coming and coming and coming. Just know that. So Tracy made this casserole, and I was very pleased with this casserole because I'm very happy kind of eating like, I don't know, a white girl sometimes. It's not a big deal to me. But I had Tracy in my house and it was a little bit overcrowded. So I called George and I wanted to be like, guess what? Tracy made dinner. It's so amazing. Come home, you know, like, cause I never cook. So to come home to some kind of food should be really thrilling, right? Well, she makes this casserole, as I've said many times already. And as you can imagine, it's in like one of those baking pans or whatever. And she cuts it up into squares. And then she says to me, oh, by the way, each square is 4 carbs. Okay, I don't really care, but whatever that's supposed to mean. So she allotted herself something like only 8 carbs a day in like her whole life that I knew her. So she was always hungry. And after I ate that thing, I could totally tell why. She said, I have 5 pieces, that should be good for all of us. Each one is 4 carbs. I have us all covered. Well, George comes home, sees the leftover piece of casserole, like the allotted 4 square. This is George the human, by the way. He's also Middle Eastern. Walks in, eats it, and says, so where's the dinner? I'm like, that was it. And then from there, we had a really good laugh. Now, here's where the part is connected to my bird George. My bird George also ate the casserole and was loving it, and you know, it had some good vegetables in it, and he was really just enjoying himself. Well, Tracy thought this was a success. So every day she made this casserole. And every day my bird George, my African gray, ate the casserole. And on like the 4th day, when I gave my bird some of the casserole, he was like, ugh. And I'm like, what's up? You like this? He just like ate a little bit of it, but not so much. Then a few more days pass and Tracy keeps making the casserole, and the casserole gets smaller and smaller and smaller, like smaller in like a height type of way. Meaning like if there's supposed to be like 6 layers of noodles, it's going to like 4 and to like 3 and to like 2. And every day it's tasting a little more like burnt or something. Like she's cooking it for the amount of time as her original casserole, but it's not really the size of the original casserole. And I had no idea why, but I'm so thankful that there's food. I'm just happy to be able to eat something, although I am kind of hungry after every square. I tried to tell her, hey, do you think you could make more squares? I think that's what happened. She tried to make more squares, but with the same amount of pasta, because now she needs to keep the carbs low. So now she can eat 2 squares and each one is only 2 carbs or something like that. I have no idea what that thought process was. Anyway, I keep giving it to my bird and he keeps getting less and less interested. On about the 10th day, he says, time for French fry. You guys remember the French fry story. I'm like, no, casserole. And he picks it up and he throws one of the vegetables in it. And I'm like, oh, it's okay. He just, you know, he's not in the mood for broccoli right now. And he just doesn't eat it. On the 20th day that Tracy made this casserole, I kid you not, it was 1 noodle high, okay? This casserole was seriously lacking in, I don't even know, like I couldn't even joke about this casserole anymore. On the 20th day, I tried to give it to my bird. And what did he say? He said, time for restaurant. And I heard it, and Tracy heard it, and my sister heard it, And we all looked at each other and I said, Tracy, I gotta admit, George is right. This casserole is not really working for us anymore. I think you need to step up your cooking game, or we need to move on from this situation. I tried one more time to give it to him, you know, and he was like, no, time for a restaurant. And I was like, my baby, he loves the way mommy lives. You know, like those moms that get insecure about not being cooks like my mother. And I'm like, don't worry, Mom, it was fine. Every time we ate out, I was happy. I was having a blast, you know? So I think everyone kind of gets what they want. But it's one of these funny stories that we talk about all the time, about how on the 20th day, my bird had had enough of pretending that this casserole was good. And if you're curious about what happened to Tracy in the end, she got married, as you guys know. She's pregnant now, but one time she wanted to impress her husband, who's also Middle Eastern, with her casserole. And she made it for him. And he said, Mommy, I think I will be the cook from now on. Don't worry about it. And he also jokes about her casserole and says that he never wants to see her in the kitchen again because he doesn't know what kind of snack that was that she thought was a meal. But we basically all laugh about it. And I just think it's so amazing that my bird picked up on the fact that, one, we're eating the same thing over and over again. Two, I don't know what kind of figuring he had to do to explain himself. Basically, he had to figure, okay, I know mommy's not gonna cook, but I need to say something here. What is that word? What's that word? Oh yeah, restaurant. I don't know how he picked that up. I was just really, really impressed. So it's kind of a short story, but short and sweet and pretty impressive. I like these kind of things because then you guys get to know about African Greys and their thought process, and of course how they're able to insert words and come to conclusions. It's very impressive. So that's my Storytime Sunday. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Vinny and Picasso and I want to welcome you to follow me on social media. You can join me on Instagram at Marlene McCohen, and you can also come onto my Facebook page. It's a group called Parrot Station. Introduce yourself, introduce your bird. We love meeting new parrots and watching your videos. So come on and say hi. We're excited to meet you. Thank you guys so much. Please subscribe. Please like and comment this video. It helps me out so much. We love you. Bye.